This is the continuing story of Peyton Place. Starring Dorothy Malone as Constance Mackenzie, Ed Nelson as Michael Rossi, Mia Farrow as Allison Mackenzie, Ryan O'Neill as Rodney Harrington, Barbara Parkins as Betty Anderson, Tim O'Connor as Elliot Carson, Christopher Conley as Norman Harrington.
Lee Weber is a driven man. Yesterday, he went to Doctor's Hospital to confront Ann Howard, the girl who was accused of blinding his younger brother 17 years ago. Now, in the light of a new day, he must consider whether he has served his own best interests.
Hi, baby.
Hi, Lee.
Hello, Miss Howard.
Morning. Oh, well, I didn't realize how long I've been sitting here. I get to work early at the hospital.
Why don't you finish your coffee, Miss Howard,
No,
please?
really, I am late.
You know, we're going to be bumping into each other a lot, and I don't want you to think you have to run every time you see me. You know, when I stopped by the hospital the other day, I let go with a lot of stuff that's been building up in me for years. I shouldn't have done that.
Well, I'd have been surprised if our first meeting was anything different.
Well, I wish it hadn't. But maybe it's best to clear the air like that, right up front. You know, I won't pretend I've hated you for years. The other day when I went home, I thought about all those things I said over and over in my head. And I thought about how stupid they were. I owe you an apology. I hope you accept.
Oh, I'm not quite sure I know what you did.
Well, I'd like to apologize anyway.
Of course.
Honey, why don't you fill Miss Howard's cup up?
Oh, sure. Oh, I didn't realize. Are you two?
Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. I thought professional people like you had better hours than this. You're up at the crack of dawn every morning, aren't you?
Well, I have quite a bit of a walk to get to work.
Don't you have a car?
And my old jalopy gave out on me about 6 months ago, and I haven't been able to afford one since.
Well, you're talking to the right guy. That's my line. I work down at the Shoreline Garage. Yeah, we get a used buggy in now and then. In fact, if you're interested, we have one you can step into right now. It needs a little work, but I can put it in top running condition by tomorrow night.
Well, if I could afford it.
You can afford it. I'll see to that.
That's very nice of you.
Well, I owe it to you.
Oh, and I owe you how much?
Oh, well, 75 cents.
Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you.
You will get in touch with me about the car.
Sure.
Bye.
Bye.
Lee,
Hmm?
that's the first time I ever heard you apologize to anybody.
So?
So why?
Well, can't a man apologize when he feels like it?
Not you and not to her. Ever since I've known you, I've listened to you say what you do to the girl who blinded Chris if you ever met her again.
Is that right? What's wrong with the coffee today? It's pretty bad.
Lee,
Yeah.
don't do anything.
What do you mean?
You know. To her, don't hurt her.
Well, what gives you the idea that I'm going to hurt her?
I know you, Lee. Look, it was so long ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, but it happened, Dig. And for a long, long time, my brother's been blind. It wasn't my idea, her coming back, but she did. And now I got my own ideas.
Lee.
It's my name.
caught me a little early.
Can I talk to you now?
Sure, come on in. I'll get you a cup of coffee.
Oh, fine. Got cream and sugar?
Sure.
Well, being in a bar like this early in the morning kind of reminds me when I was in New York interning there in the theater section. It's kind of like backstage there in some of those off-Broadway theaters. Of course, their coffee wasn't nearly as good as yours, I'm sure. Have you seen Rita lately or talked to her?
Yeah, I called her. She told me she wasn't going to have a baby.
Yeah.
You know, I would have made some grandmother.
Well, there's plenty of time for that, huh?
Is that what you came to tell me?
No, I was hoping you might tell me something. About Rita's medical history.
Well, what's wrong with her?
Well, nothing. I mean, she's just kind of run down now. But I was wondering if there was any history of fainting or shortness of breath or anything.
She's always been real healthy.
Now, wait a minute, Ada. You're talking to Mike Rossi, not some cop that's questioning you.
But she has always been healthy, Doctor. That's the truth.
Oh, well, I thought maybe she'd had some childhood illness, scarlet fever.
Yeah, but that was a long time ago. She hadn't even started school yet.
Oh, well, she did then. I mean, was she sick afterwards?
Well, it seems to me about a week afterwards, she ran a little fever and I put her into bed.
She complained of any aches?
I don't remember. What's this all about, Doctor?
How long was she in bed?
Oh, 10 days, maybe 2 weeks. Why?
Did she have any swelling of the joints or a rash or anything like that?
She didn't have any rash, I don't think, but her elbows and knees swelled up. I thought it was just from not getting any exercise. And I think she did have some blotches on her skin. Maybe that was a rash. Well, like I said, I thought it was just from laying around. It didn't look serious.
Was there a doctor in attendance?
When she had the scarlet fever, yeah.
How about afterwards?
No, I didn't see any need. What's this all about, Doctor?
Well, I think Rita may have had rheumatic fever. Well, children get rheumatic fever, and sometimes they get over it before the parents know anything about it.
Well, so she got over it. She's over it now, isn't she?
Oh, yeah, sure, of course. It's just I wanted to know about her history, that's all.
No, Doctor. There's something else. What is it?
Well, I only examined her once. It isn't fair.
What did you find, Doctor? Please.
Well, there's an indication of a faint heart murmur. Now, it's nothing serious, at least nothing for the time being.
But it could mean that she...
Now, we're not going to speculate about what it could mean. If there was anything to worry about, believe me, I tell you. Ada, I'm not going to lie to you about this.
Fair enough.
Well, there's no reason why we should tell Rita or Norman about this. No reason to worry them about it, huh?
Chew, 2, 3, 4. Swallow, 2, 3, 4. No fear laughing. Okay at ease until you get that down. No fear spitting it out.
Okay, okay.
You know, when Rod and I were little, we had a Scottish cook named Agnes who used to always make us eat hot cereal for breakfast. Not the usual kind, which was bad enough, but her own concoction. It tasted like glue. But when she wasn't looking, we'd pour it into our pockets and try and get outside before it soaked through. And we'd feed it to the dog. He loved the stuff. Healthiest dog in town. I wish we had a dog.
I wish we had room for a dog.
Let's go to the country this weekend.
Where?
I don't know. Somewhere where there's room. On a picnic. And we'll take along a sleeping bag.
Okay.
Well, how come you don't want to go?
I've never been.
You've never been to the country? You're kidding.
Well, once on a biology field trip in the 7th grade. It was horrible. I got poison oak.
Great. Then I'll have the privilege of introducing you to trees that nobody planted, to grass that nobody mowed, to ivy, fern, and moss that grow where they like.
I can't wait.
Come on, eat up.
Same to you. Norm, did you notice something wrong between Allison and Rod last night?
Yeah, they did seem kind of jumpy.
I have a feeling they might break up.
I'm glad we're through that so-called phase.
Are you?
Come on, eat up.
Answer.
Well, that's a stupid question, obviously. You know, I used to think it was square to be happy. I always thought there was something wrong with happy people, that they were just faking it. I just think it was phony to smile because the world and the people in it were basically rotten. Then you came along.